about you, but I absolutely hate losing things. But I do like being on schedule, starting our recording. And even though it looked like we were posting content on time, we haven't recorded anything in like, what is it, Nick? 2 or 3 weeks?
I think 3 weeks at this point. Yeah.
But hey, thank God for the scheduling button on YouTube to make it look like we were still doing our job.
That's right. Like technology and automation makes things amazing. That's not our topic today, but it really does sound like we're going to go into talking about automation and technology.
I don't know anything about automation. I looked up thank you card IO. I don't even think that's the right address. I'm like, this is too many words. Too many words for today.
Thanks IO is great though. I really like Thanks IO. They've got a really nice interface. They're reasonably priced. Mailbox power is nice also. They do a little bit of a their model's a little bit less friendly for me. I don't like their interface as well, but both good. Handy to have if you want to send cards and letters to physical media to people who maybe don't deal with digital media so much.
There you go. This episode is not sponsored by thankyoucards.com, Thank You Card IO, or any thank you card service, but we are talking today over the course of the next 15 to 20 minutes about getting my certs and still actually selling things along the way. What? Before we get into that, like the video, comment below, subscribe to the channel as we inch ever closer to the next threshold. Nick, how do I get all my certs and still actually sell insurance?
You just do. Done. End of episode. Boom. Yeah. It shouldn't be that hard. Like, so AHIP just got released. So we're recording this on the 23rd of June 2023, and AHIP is out. Not all of the carriers are out with their trainings. So for some people, maybe you want to wait a little bit until like Aetna or Humana or somebody, Anthem, has their training available, and you can take it, go through the training website and get a little discount.
Should I wait until early September?
No, don't wait until early September. That's nuts. Wait like a week. Get your $50 off and then go take it. Don't wait until early September. Jesus, Pete.
Should I take the next 3 months and just use that as a reason for inactivity?
Oh, of course not. So the thing about AHIP is an explicitly open book test. And it is more or less the same every year. It's not exactly the same every year, but it's pretty close to the same every year. So if you've done it once, if it takes you more than a weekend, you are doing it wrong. There are people who it was released on, I think, the 21st. There, whatever day it was released on. There were people by noon that day who were posting their AHIP scores in Facebook groups. Like, and good scores, like 98%. Like, you can do this. Like, this is not that difficult. The thing that I kind of wanted to talk about on this is people get overwhelmed by the paperworky certification, needing to requalify every year, recertify every year, and they make a really big deal about it. And it's just continuing education. It's just more and more continuing education. It's not that difficult. If you want to keep your license, you have to do continuing education every 2 years.
Yep.
If you want to continue to be allowed to sell Medicare, you have to do continuing education every single year. That's okay. Medicare changes every single year. So stay on top of what the changes are.
It's easy to get overwhelmed though. I'm like just sitting here writing down all the carrier certs that I'm going to have to do. And I'm going to get them done. And I'll probably get them done one each week once I lay out my schedule to get it done. But like Humana, United Healthcare, Cigna, WellCare, Devoted, IBX, Health Partners, I'm probably forgetting somebody. It kind of feels a little overwhelming just writing it all down.
It does. And so one of the things that I recommend for all of the agents that I work with is that you keep a spreadsheet. I'm a fan of spreadsheets. My first like non-freelance job, my first like grown-up job was working as a bookkeeper. And so I have a love of spreadsheets because of that. And I recommend you just set yourself up with a spreadsheet. Every carrier that you have renewals from, whether or not you plan on writing them, because if you don't recertify, you lose your renewals.
Say that again.
If you don't recertify, you lose your renewals. And if you're not in this for the renewals, I don't know why you're even watching this video.
Hang up
Like,
now because you're watching the wrong video.
so um, make a spreadsheet of every carrier that pays you renewals. And then like each carrier's individual certification, I can't imagine it's going to take more than an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you have 20 carriers. Maybe that you have 20 carriers. Most people have like 4. So that's like 4 hours worth of work.
Mm-hmm.
And you have from, let's say you don't start until August 1st. Like you wait to start any of this until every single carrier's got all of their training out, and you don't do a dang thing for another month. Oh, okay. You got to do AHIP. AHIP will take you maybe 4 hours. You got to do 4 or 5 carrier certs. That'll take you maybe 4 or 5 hours. Let's say it's 10 hours work total. So you got to find a way to do 10 hours worth of work in a month.
That seems like a lot for some people. Like,
You think so?
I feel like some people are work adverse and they think that, man, I'm self-employed, so I don't really have to do a job. Like 10 hours of work. I'm kind of being sarcastic here, but I do
Like,
know a lot of people that are work averse.
yeah. Well, I don't have much sympathy for them. I'm sorry. This is maybe not the right industry for you. Like I would like to say otherwise, but like if you can't figure out how to fit 10 hours in between August 1st and October 15th, if you can't figure out how to do 10 hours worth of work spread out, doesn't have to be all at once. Do an hour a week. You've got 12 weeks. Like I don't know. 2.5 months to, ideally you've got it all done before September 1st. But you can be a procrastinator. You can wait all the way up until October 15th. Some carriers will let you wait until like November 1st or even December. There are 1 or 2 carriers that'll let you wait until January 1st. Now, should you do this?
No.
You can't sell during AEP if you do that. You want to have everything wrapped up before October 15th, and ideally a couple of days before October 15th. But
realistically, too, like your marketer, your IMO, your agency, whatever word you want to use to identify yourself as these days, isn't going to put money into your marketing if you aren't prepared to utilize said marketing.
No, man. Like I got free leads to give, and I'm gonna give out those leads, and I'm not giving them to you because you're not AHIP certified. Why would I? You can't sell.
Yeah.
Those free leads cost somebody money. Like there's no such thing as actually free leads, right? There's just leads that are free to you.
Exactly. What do you think the biggest change you would like to see with a product, at least in our market, the Pennsylvania-ish corner of the world? What would be a cool product change you'd like to see?
Well, so like where we are, I actually think we're in a good spot. I would like to see some more emphasis moving away from money going for over the counter and more money going towards social needs.
Mhm.
I think some of what the DSNPs are doing, where they've got, like, we've got a DSNP out here where you can use their OTC money. And they've stopped even calling it OTC money. They did for the first year that they did this, but they don't call it that anymore. But you can use that money for over-the-counter stuff, but you can also use it to buy food. You can use it to pay electric bills. You can use it to pay grocery bills. You can use it to pay to get cab rides. You can use it to pay for your internet. You can use it to pay for pest control. You can use it to pay for pet food.
Can you use it to buy Chinese food at the corner store?
No, that's not considered healthy food. So you have to. It is only healthy foods.
I love Chinese food, but that's an urban reference.
But like I'd like to see benefits that are able to be spread out to more social goods, be available to more people. I'd also like to see a little bit of emphasis on dental care for non-dual eligibles. There are a couple of plans that really lean heavily on dental care.
Mhm.
And I'm a big believer in the idea that like dental health is tied to overall health, and a lot of people who don't have a dual plan just don't have access to good dental care.
Mhm.
Even if they have an MAPD plan and there's dental built in, it's really not very good dental.
Mhm.
The biggest thing I would like to see is I'd like to see one carrier that makes like nice with all the doctors though. I'd like to see a carrier where I stop running into people being like, my doctor doesn't want to take that plan, they hate it. But
That's challenging. It's
that is
challenging.
challenging.
Because even if you looked it up,
Yeah.
the frustration I get is you get to the doctor's office and you talk to the wrong person, and all of a sudden the wrong person tells your client they don't take the blank plan, and you're like, of course you absolutely have to,
Yeah.
or some little like nuance, because coming up in final expense, the funeral home didn't only take certain plans, and when you died, you were just deceased. There wasn't like a network restriction on being deceased. So
Right.
that's my biggest learning curve with this.
Yeah. No, figuring out the doctors thing is tricky. Um, and it can be tough because, like, the carrier website will say that a doctor takes something, but then you show up and like the front desk person is like in a bad mood that day, and they're like, "Oh, we don't take this," and they don't even have to be right, and it'll send your client into a tailspin.
Yeah.
Like a lot of time, like I had a client who's been a client of mine for a long time, and we changed her plan because of reasons, and she went to her doctor, and the person at the front desk was like, "Oh, we don't take this plan." And she called me up and she was all upset and she's like, "I have to get out of this plan. What do I do? I'm stuck. I'm trapped. How do I get out of this plan?" And I said, "Oh, let me make a couple of phone calls." And I re-verified that they were actually in network for that plan. And I called the billing department instead of the front desk for the office. And I was like, "Hey, you do actually take this insurance, right?" And they were like, "Yeah, we absolutely do." And so I was like, the front desk people are telling my client that they don't accept this insurance. And she's like, "Well, they shouldn't be telling people whether or not they accept any particular insurance. That's not their job."
Mhm.
Um,
It's frustrating.
it's frustrating. I mean, there's nothing you can do. You're dealing with humans,
Yeah,
right?
and I don't think we should or shouldn't use names. I don't care. Like I had someone say to a dual eligible this week that they didn't take Humana in West Philly. I'm like, I feel like that can't be correct. Like I think they just told you the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And then I had somebody else say that they didn't take the 5-star plan in Philadelphia that's literally in downtown. Like this just does not seem accurate. Like
Yeah.
somebody has to be wrong here, and I'm pretty sure once in a while it's not me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's network issues are always frustrating. Because there is so much that's not in your control.
Mhm.
You can do everything right on your end, and you can use all your available resources, and you can prepare your client and you can educate your client. And when your client is face to face with somebody who is not knowledgeable and should not be giving advice, but that seems like an authority figure, like somebody who works at the front desk of a doctor's office or a pharmacy, um, they can be whipped up into sort of a tizzy.
Yeah.
And it's not good. I mean, it's not good for anybody. But
Can't
what are you gonna
control
do?
it. The things you can't control, especially with human beings. What would suck? Like we haven't seen any plans yet. We haven't seen any first looks. At least I haven't.
Mm.
What would absolutely suck if you saw it take place in one of your favorite plans?
Something that is happening with a plan that's not one of my favorites, but like there is a plan that was reasonably popular in the city of Philadelphia. I don't sell in the city of Philadelphia. I sell around the city of Philadelphia. And so I don't sell this plan. But it is losing like the single largest hospital network in the city of Philadelphia, Jefferson Hospital Network, which is
Mhm.
huge and getting huger and like buying up other hospital networks. Um, is discontinuing their contract with this carrier, and that sucks. And it happened year before last, where in an area where I do sell, the largest hospital network in that area, the Lehigh Valley Hospital Network, threatened to cancel their contract
Mhm.
with one of the big four insurance companies,
Yeah.
who has also one of the better Medicare Advantage plans in that area.
Yeah.
And that was a nightmare because I had 200 or 300 people in that plan, who all needed to like review their plan like immediately, and it ended up working out. You know, it ended up not being a big deal. It ended up it was a negotiation tactic, and stuff got into newspapers and whatever. But yeah, the network stuff I hate. I hate the network stuff.
I got one for you. So there's a Medicare agent watching this podcast right now. Maybe it's this year, maybe it's next year, maybe it's in 10 years. That'd be kind of strange, but that's how YouTube works.
Yeah.
And they know that AEP is coming. They know they're not going to make any actual Medicare money once AEP kind of hits, but they still need to make money now. And we did a great episode on cross-selling. What would be some great techniques to make sure that next week I can make money and maintain my presence in the Medicare business?
It is very important that you, as a Medicare agent, sell products that are not just Medicare. Like, you have to, until you get on your feet, until you have 400, 500 plus clients, and you're like, and you can afford to go several months because, you know, you can live off of $10,000 a month pretty easy. You have to sell other products. You have to have other things in your toolbox. Or you have to, I guess, have a spouse that has a decently steady income. I don't know. But you have to have something. You have to have something else going on. You should have stuff that fits. Like, it should all fit together.
Yeah.
Like, you should. I am personally a big believer in cancer plans. I think if you are not offering cancer plans to everybody that you're talking to, you are doing them a disservice. Forget you. Like, it'll make you a little bit of money, but you are actually like doing them a disservice by not at least letting them have the option of taking a cancer plan. You know, many people need hospital indemnity plan. Many people need dental plans. Many people need life insurance. People need life insurance, guys.
Huh.
Many people have life insurance, and it's bad life insurance. And like, there's a lot of stuff out there that is available.
You know, make an interesting observation. I work a fair amount of both different kinds of leads at this point in time. The people that are filling out leads that are not life insurance leads, I'm trying to be compliant here and not get a complaint without trying to educate. They don't realize the life insurance they have is bad. Like,
Right.
not life insurance is bad inherently, but it's overpriced. It's the wrong thing. It's term life. It's yada, yada, yada.
It doesn't do what they want it to do.
They filled out a marketing piece to talk to you about one thing, not knowing the other thing is just as messed up. Like, if you're not equipped with like one above average product to ask the question, you're missing out on so many easy opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and honestly, like, if you're if you're primarily a Medicare agent and you're going out and selling Medicare, if you are not on the same appointment, don't do this at the same time that you're selling a Medicare plan. But if you're not going back to every single one of your clients who has Medicare policies with you and saying, hey, what are you doing for your final expenses? Do you have life insurance? When's the last time you spoke to an agent and had it reviewed? It's important that happens. Like, again, you're doing them a disservice. Unless you're not life licensed, in which case, what are you doing? Get life licensed.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense either. Nick, we're right around that 20-minute mark. We try to keep these short, simple, but like, I feel like there has to be a happy medium, but YouTube wants you to watch the whole video, wink, wink, so that they can kind of boost the algorithm. Are you ready for today's hot take?
Hot take.
Failure is the agent's fault. True or false?
Failure is the agent's fault. Neither true nor false. Schrodinger's question. Schrodinger's hot take. It is both true and false. It depends. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of times. Like 90% of people wash out of the insurance industry, and it is mostly their own fault. It's mostly not their own fault. Not their own fault. It is mostly because they are not suited to the industry, right? And like, shouldn't place fault. It's not your fault. But you're not suited to the industry. You don't belong in this industry. This is not the right fit for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. It is not the right fit for most people. There are also many people who have been failed by the people running agencies, the people who brought them into the industry, who recruited them in when they had no business recruiting people, didn't actually offer them training, threw them to the wolves. People got fed up and walked away. Who would have been suited to the industry? Who could have done a good job, and they just walked on. Both are true.
I'll give you another one. Being independent means I don't have to be accountable to anybody. I can operate as if this is my own little Uber business, come and go as I please. And employing that mentality will still get me the same level of success.
No, you'll fail. you're gonna fail if you come with that attitude. You might make it 3 or 4 years. But at some point, you either have to change the way that you approach this, or you're going to fail out of the business. Because at the end of the day, you are accountable to your clients, you are accountable to the people in your lives, your family members. You will fail. Like that is the mindset and attitude of somebody who does not belong in this business, and they should be maybe driving Uber.
Yeah.
Like don't do this. Do something else. This is not that.
I don't know if it was Facebook that did it or what did it, but the concept of independent when we started was simply I have multiple products to sell, multiple Medicare, multiple life, multiple ancillary products. Not I didn't have any form of accountability, structure, support, leadership. Yeah. That is not what independent means.
No, and you're right. I don't know when that happened. Like the idea that anybody can do any job 100% on their own in isolation with no help or outside input from anybody ever is wild. Like that's not how any of this works anywhere. Like any small business owner, like you maybe you are a small business owner, right? Mm-hmm. And not every independent agent is, and you don't have to be, you can. I was introduced to somebody recently talked to me about the idea that there are people who have a practice instead of a business. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with having a practice instead of a business. Doctors have practices, but at the same time, there is no doctor who doesn't work with an entire network of other doctors. There is no small business owner that doesn't work with other small business owners. There is nobody that is, no man is an island. Like nobody does this on their own. You have to have structure and support in other people and people to hold you accountable, because human psychology, man, like you will slip. It's not great. Be part of a team, find a team, create a team, make your own team, lead your own team, do something, but like
other people.
Yeah. Exactly.
I also think it's important that we kind of change the perception of everybody needs to make money off of everybody and everyone's trying to recruit somebody and sell somebody. Like, just give back. Like, give back knowledge. Knowledge will come back to you. If Nick makes money and I make money and everybody makes money, everybody's happy. Like, let's just stop trying to use people and help everybody get where they're trying to be anyway.
Yeah, no, absolutely. 100%.
So on that note, thanks for watching today's episode entitled, I don't know yet. We'll figure that out before I post it. Like the video, subscribe, comment below. If you see a short, click on some buttons here to make the short go to other places. We really appreciate each of you taking the time to watch today's video.
Oh, also, Chris just had a birthday. Comment in the sections. Wish Chris a happy birthday.